Alright, this hand is great. Look at this. Shard of Broken Glass turn 1, Moorland Drifter turn 2, Equip turn 3, Captain turn 4. We figured it out. Keep. And we're already doing it right because my opponent mulled 2-6. How lucky are we? Alright, blue-white. So we'll probably see a Niblis. See, alright, then I'm already gonna admit that I probably chose extremely poorly, considering next turn we're almost certainly gonna see a Niblis of the Dusk come down, and I am going to get immediately punished for not putting for putting dual shot in my deck. Either that, or maybe he's got a Cathar's Companion. Aggressive Eliminator. You got it. Oh, there. Cathar's Companion. Ooh. Ooh. I think we want to get this Always Watching down. And then I could offer to trade the Companion. Or I could just sit back on it and then hold up Dance with Devils next turn. I think I'll do that. We'll be patient. Yeah, I was so unlucky not to mill my Always Watching there. I don't have another enchantment to mill since I took out the Senseless Rage. How unlucky for me. Alright. Well, I think this is going to work out fine, because my opponent's probably going to get fairly aggressive here, and hopefully I can do some dancing with some devils. Let's see if my opponent's got some sort of shenanigans. Get in there, devils. Opponent gonna adjust the wind. Sure, you got it. Well, now I'm certainly just taking some damages. There's no reason to throw my devil under the bus right now. This game is going sideways fast. So many lands. How lucky am I? Alright, we'll just jam this captain, pump our team. And I think I'll just attack with the drifter. Actually, you know what? Since my guys have vigilance, no, I'll just attack with the drifter. I think the devil back on defense is better than getting in for an extra point of damage, especially since the Bribe the Night, Convicted Killer. Alright, well, didn't hit Delirium, how sad. I think that keeping the devil back on defense is better than getting in for a point of damage. Especially since my Inspiring Captain blocks the Companion just fine if he doesn't have a combat trick. Which if he attacks with the Companion, he certainly has a combat trick. So I may just block with the devil. Yeah, Thrun, I don't doubt that the map is legitimate. Oh, he's bouncing my... Sure, I will be happy to discard a mountain. And guess what? I am one card closer to Delirium. So, taste it. Taste it, sir. And if he attacks here with the Companion, I can still just, my captain bounces off. Sure. On a 9-turn clock. Seems fine. Oof. Alright. So the question is, opponent has 2 cards in hand, so I can equip and try and bait out a combat trick. with this thing, and then I still have a decently sized blocker here. Or I can equip and do nothing, but I think that's bad. I mean, if he wants to trade for the captain, he either has to spend a pump spell like Strength of Arms, or he has to double block, in which case I still kill the Mangler if he's got, you know, I don't know what else he could have that doesn't pump his Cathar, but I think that just getting spells out of his hand is good right now. And he probably would have attacked if he had anything relevant last turn that lets him win combat. You know what? No, let's not. Like I said, I only have the one sorcery. I could hit that one sorcery, or I could hit the Wicker Witch and have Delirium, but I don't know that I need to hit Delirium. I might want to save this Moorland Drifter to discard to the Wolf anyway, so I can ping the Companion, get in for some additional damage. Right, so he has chosen to block it thusly. So here, I definitely want to order this guy first, and then if he's got Strength of Arms and he pumps this thing, I can still kill it. This guy gets indestructible, but you know, my captain is dying either way, and this way I have the potential to kill both of his things. No shenanigans, I like that. Alright, Wolf, let's go to town. The second double mythic rare draft that I've had in a row. Or I'm sorry, no. Yes, it was 2 drafts in a row. Ago that I had Jace and the Geralt's, what's it? Masterpiece. So he could have the 3/3 flasher dude, but or just the wind. I'll do it too. Sure. Get in with our devil. I suppose I could have equipped the devil, and then if he ever chooses to jump block with the Illuminator, I could deal the extra damage to that thing, but I think that's a corner case that's not likely to occur anytime ever. I do like this though, because pinging Thalia as Lieutenant seems sweet. And so here I'd like to draw a land so I can discard the Drifter and play an Arsonist. Yeah, I think I'll still discard the Drifter and kill the Lieutenant so I can get in for 8. And then I can play the Convicted Killer. My opponent has 1 card in hand, so there's a chance that this thing flips. I'm not going to count on it though. Opponent deciding what to do. Even though just the wind in hand. We already have 2 of these things. That card is great. I wonder if my opponent picked up the Reckless Scholar that was going around. A little pump fake action going on. Alright. And so now, unless my opponent has a creature, they're just dead on board, since I could pitch the Arsonist to block, but not a situation that is apparently going to have to worry me too much. Another situation where I probably should have just probably should have equipped the devil, but I'm not a smart man. I am not a smart man. Puncturing light. Sure. Okay. That's fine. I'm gonna opt not to use the wolf's ability this turn, just because I think that the Arsonist is just a better threat when it's on the board, rather than taking out a stupid 2/2 or 1/3. Opponent has to block with something. If they block with this Illuminator, I don't want them getting value out of it. Sad. My opponent decided not to. Alright. We'll play the Arsonist. And just so I don't forget, we're going to go ahead and equip the Shard of Broken Glass this turn. And oh, my opponent has a spell that can play. How lucky. Oh, and it's a good spell too. Well, hopefully we draw at least a 1 mana spell. Sad. How unlucky. How unlucky am I? Opponent's going to gain 3 life. We're going to do some blocking. They're going to sadly avoid dying this turn. But what can you do? That's an interesting choice of blocks. I would advise you not do that, Mr. Opponent, considering... Oh wait, no. I keep forgetting about lifelink. Alright, sure. Go ahead and finish off your Illuminator. And we'll equip that guy and then flip our Arsonist. So my opponent can make 2 spirits this turn, which can block the Ravagers. But unless they've got a 3rd creature, they're just dead on board. And they do not. They are packing it in. Alright, so we saw Cathar's Companion near Heath Chaplain. So yes, Thrun, I'm definitely bringing in Dual Shot. I don't think I like Survive the Night. My creatures trade well with his. I think I'm fine with them trading for his. I don't, again, like Magmatic Chasm, this isn't the grindy kind of game where we're both sitting there with a billion creatures on the board, where I need to jam through damage. You know, I've got the inevitability with Always Watching and with Inspiring Captain to win plenty of combat, so I don't think I need to bring in Magmatic Chasm for this matchup. I could be very wrong about that, but we will find out here shortly. And in terms of racing, like my creatures, his blue creatures that fly, tend to cost more, so he's playing creatures later, first of all, and then the creatures that he does get to play at the same time that I do get outclassed by my creatures. No, he's going to have a billion flyers, so Chasm is not the... Well, I mean, we didn't see all that many flyers from him. We saw the Illuminator, but I assume he's got the Nibless of the Dusk. He may have some of the Emissary of the Sleepless. He's probably got some vessels to make some spirits, so... Yeah, Chasm not great against those kind of things, especially when I tend to just win combat against those types of things anyway. And I assume my opponent is going to be on the play again. How lucky. Alright, this is a fine hand. Turn 2 Ember Eye Wolf, turn 3 Convicted Killer, with the option to play a Tormenting Voice somewhere in there if I need to draw some cards. And then the inevitability and sweetness that is Wolf of Devil's Breach. Goldknight Castigator. Alright. Alright, this is test number 1. Do I kill myself? Do I just die to my own creature? Alright. Ember Eye Wolf. You know what? I want to play a creature next turn. I'm going to just jam with this thing, and if he wants to trade, I'm fine with that. In fact, I would have preferred if he had traded, but him turning his dude sideways is also fine. Like, it makes the next turn's combat more difficult for him to figure out what to try and do, because I could pump this and just... See? Like, he's not going to block now. Can't block, won't block. But I like the option of killing that Illuminator if he does decide to do something silly like block. Okay, not blocking. Can't block. Can't block ever. Play the Parish Blade. Probably actually should have played the Wicker Witch first, just because if it ends up attacking and trading with one of these creatures, then I have a better shot of hitting Delirium. This might cause him to want to hold his Homunculus back. But even then, I can just jam with the wolf next turn, should I so desire. Tormenting Voice also makes it somewhat likely that I hit Delirium in this game. Alright, well that's fine. Get some clues, sure. Come at me. I mean, I was never blocking with this thing anyway. Jam with our wolf. With my opponent stuck on lands here, I might actually play my Convicted Killer. Because if they don't hit a land, there's a strong likelihood that they crack a clue to hit a land. And then my wolf has a good chance of flipping. So I think I'll do that. Playing the Wicker Witch is also probably fine there, since it, I mean, it doesn't threaten to block the Homunculus, but it at least threatens more damage if he does have a spell. But I like the Convicted Killer here. Thanks, Thron. Good luck to you as well. I hope your draft goes swimmingly. Hopefully you get what little fixing there is in the format. I'm going to have to check out Alara at some point, just because it sounds like fun. Alright, my opponent getting in for 2 with the Homunculus. Is he cracking a clue? No, he's playing into Blizzard Dusk. How unlucky. How unlucky are we? Alright. So I think I'm just going to jam with everybody. And I'm fine trading for these things if he really wants to. I don't think he's going to want to, though. We shall find out shortly, though. Alright, that's a fine block. That is a fine block, sir. I like that block too. That's fine as well. We'll go ahead and play out a... I'll play a Cathar's Companion. If we hit a land next turn, I might Tormenting Voice that Wicker Witch away. No, what am I talking about? I'm never doing that. Just play the Wicker Witch. Yeah, if we hit a land, I'm certainly playing Devil's Breach. Certainly doing that. So my Cathar's Companion is not becoming indestructible anytime soon. Apothecary Geist, sure. Eliminator is a spirit. It is a spirit. So I think I'm going to jam with the Wicker Witch and the Ember Eye Wolf. And if he chooses to block here, I'll certainly pump. Or if he blocks here, I'll pump. And then I can just play out my companion. If he doesn't block, I'll just play out the wolf. And then I can start eating things next turn. And I might actually trade here just to avoid taking damage. And it makes my Castigator better later. To have it a higher life total. Well, that's annoying. Okay, sure. At this point, I'm not winning this race by any stretch of the imagination. We'll jam with the killer. Since I can still block either of these creatures and trade if I need to, or I could just play out these guys and threaten to trade, which I think might be the better play. Yeah, so we'll play the Drifter, play the Cathar's Companion, and then we'll pass turn. And having done that, obviously it would have been better to attack the Whoop and get an extra point of damage in, but I am not a smart man. But I would rather be playing spells every turn, so maybe I just want to trade this thing for the Furtive Homunculus instead of the Moorland Drifter. I do have my Wicker Witch in the yard, and I have the ability to, if I draw a land, I can Tormenting Voice away the land and get Delirium. So this thing could be a flyer. Geist coming in. Now on the 4-turn clock. Always watching would be great at this point, because my Castigator could keep attacking and have vigilance and not have to be on defensive duty, but compelling deterrence, sure. I will discard Tormenting Voice. Missionaries. Alright, so we'll play the Wolf. And I think I'll jam the Companion. There's no reason to hold him back. Sure. Fine trade. So next turn I can discard the Missionaries to zap that thing. Then I think I'm off to the races, unless he's got a Just the Wind, which seems probable. Oh. Nope. He does not. But I am fine with this. And so here I think I trade my Drifter for the Homunculus. I mean, he is again still kind of stuck on land, so there's a possibility that a turn comes around where the killer flips. It's not a strong likelihood, but it's a possibility. could... really wish this was a mountain that I drew, and I could do Castigator and the wolf activation in the same turn. But I think this is fine. And we'll go ahead and attack with the wolf. Shoot the Geist. Yes. We'll discard the missionaries. And then I can offer to trade the Ember Eye Wolf with the Inspiring Captain next turn. Oh, I didn't play a spell, so I don't even have to offer a trade. If my opponent has 2 Just the Winds, then they justly deserve that victory. Let's see, next turn, if he doesn't play a creature, I could discard this Castigator to zap the captain, then he's taking 9, 10, and then I can pump once, 12, 13. That's our best case scenario. And even if he does play a creature, I can still zap one of the creatures and threaten lethal if he doesn't. People setting off fireworks, because why not on the 5th of July? So here I'll just go ahead and block. That's fine. Okay. Bars Companion, sure. Alright, so this is interesting. I can play the Castigator, equip Shard of Broken Glass, or I can discard Shard of Broken Glass to the wolf trigger and ping the companion. I might, let's see, that's 9, 10 damage if I play the Castigator, 11 damage if I equip, but he only has to block one of them, so he leaves the companion behind and just kills me on the crackback next turn, or even actually just leaving this behind kills me because of the Castigator. And I don't want to just be dead to adjust the wind. I think I need to deal with this companion though. So I'll leave the Ember Eye Wolf back to block and hope he just doesn't have anything too ridiculous. Kill the companion with the shard. Take my opponent down to 6. And if they manage to, oh, all right. Well, that's very good for us. So this emissary. All right. Well, we can clear the way again with the Castigator, or we can just attack with the wolf and the. Yeah, I think I'm gonna discard the Castigator to kill this thing. It's equal to the mana cost, right? Yeah. And there's no real haste creatures that punish us here for attacking with both, so. And I actually get to activate my Ember Eye Wolf once, which is nice. So I'll pay that, yes. Discard Castigator. And we'll pump the wolf. And leave a Convicted Killer in hand just because that's another way to clear the board, you know, unless he's got another Emissary that's sleepless, in which case he has to block both of these creatures next turn anyway, or he's dead, because I can pump this twice. Kraken Clues, I like that, I like that. 3 for an Angelic Purge, sure. And we're just going to do a whole lot of pumping on my wolf. Pump you once. Pump you. No reason to be greedy. We'll just do Xaxes. There we go. Alright, so by the skin of our teeth, we did it, and we managed not to kill ourselves with Goldknight Castigator by primarily not playing Goldknight Castigator, which I think was a fine decision on my part.